Welfare is supposed to help people in need, give destitute people a chance to get back on their feet. But that's not what usually happens, says former welfare recipient Star Parker. Star, what do you mean?
Well, I think what has happened is the poor have been conditioned to adopt a slave mentality. I don't own myself, I am not free. And it's very sad in a free country that we are even calling ourselves poor. I got caught up in it, and a lot more people are getting caught up in it today because the goodies are getting much broader and much more expensive to the taxpayers.
People who get government aid often say the solution to their problems is more government aid. Here's what I was told outside a food kitchen in Harlem.
Poverty stinks.
Give us more jobs and more opportunities for those less fortunate.
Government should just create jobs.
Create jobs, yeah, create more jobs.
More food stamps?
More food stamps.
More welfare?
More welfare.
And on and on. It's this impression that goods come from government.
Right. Well, that's the disconnection. I never thought about it when I lived on welfare. And the reason I say better is because we've also taken the shame out. So you can live taxpayer dependent, and no one will even know it. The housing for the poor is improved when it comes to what they look like. You can't even tell that it's government paid for.
But you say you lived pretty well when you were on welfare.
It's a mentality, John. This is the problem. People are not connecting to their own lives or their own well-being. It's give me something, and then you'll make do. It's similar to slavery, where you make do if you're owned by somebody else. Liberals have put up all these barriers around their lives so that they can't live free, so you move from one benefit to the next.
Check out this video of a California surfer dude who John Roberts interviewed, who uses his food stamp card to buy lobster and sushi.
$200 a month, and you just go like, boom.
Thank you for shopping with us.
Just like that.
Please remove your bags.
All paid for by our wonderful tax dollars.
He said he had no interest in getting a job.
That's just not something that appeals to you, though.
Not whatsoever.
And you worked the system when you collected.
Why not just hang out at Venice Beach all afternoon? And yeah, I did it for a long time. And it wasn't until a Christian conversion that I changed my life and engaged in my own well-being. But work is hard, and that's why we don't want to reward ill behavior.
The government's welfare bureaucrats usually claim that they're saving people, but once outside welfare office, I was surprised to find one who admitted that what she does leads people not to bother to look for work. Do you think you and Human Resources encourage people to be dependent?
Yes, we do.
So what should be done about that?
I don't really know. I don't really know. I guess stop giving away the money and then they'll get a job.
And you work for the government.
That's right.
That's a pretty unusual reaction.
No, it isn't. Don't work, don't save, don't get married. That's the means test. That's the rules of welfare. The day that my caseworker was...
don't admit that usually, do they? When you were collecting, weren't the people serious?
Well, no, they weren't serious, but they didn't admit it out in public, maybe. My caseworker is the one that told me that if anyone ever asked, did she come to my house to make sure that I didn't live beyond what they were paying me, just pretend that I did, because she wanted to go to lunch with her girlfriends. She's part of the problem.
One aspiring actress who lives in a poor neighborhood in Los Angeles made this video mocking the welfare system.
State of California, I need to warn ya. Free welfare, free dental, free food. Mama say she can't take me to school. Why am I hungry and we get free food? Free housing, free daycare, free clothes. This is where the taxpayer money goes. All you have to do is and 9 months later you're getting the big bucks. But all you...
Star, what we bleeped, obviously, was a word for sexual intercourse. Her point is that having more babies wins you benefits.
It's absolutely true. You get pregnant, you get a check. And before welfare reform, which I consulted on, you get pregnant even at 14, 15, 16. Not only do you get a check, you get a housing voucher to move out of your parents' setting. It's sad.
But do you think a 14-year-old girl says, I'm going to get pregnant because I'm going to get this monthly check?
I think that what we've done is incentivize this type of behavior. Remember, these folks have been conditioned to believe that they are victims. So when you're 14 years old and you live in a housing project because your mama was 14 when she got pregnant with you, and you look out at your options, a broken school, a broken environment, a tragedy of the commons, then yes, you could then say, why not just live for today? The next thing you know, you're pregnant, and the next thing you know, you're in that same cycle of dependency.
And yet, if a politician dares suggest change, cutting benefits, the media and the left Are they the same thing? They act outraged.
There are other things that could be on the table before you pick a program that is feeding the nation's poor children.
How insensitive and cold can you get?
And Star, how insensitive and cold you must be to suggest these cuts.
It's the best medicine ever. It's a cancer in our society, and the people that are promoting to keep the status quo are the very part of the system that's not working. We declared a war on poverty, and trillions of dollars later, we have a collapse of marriage. We have communities that are in total ruin, and yet you have the likes of those voices we just heard that keep insisting that we continue this madness.
Thank you, Star Parker. We do seem to continue the madness. Coming up,